You might think you're doing yourself a favor by grabbing that reduced fat Jif off the grocery store shelf, but could you be setting yourself up for a PB&J nightmare instead? There is so much more to choosing the right peanut butter for you than crunchy or creamy.
Rich, teasing, tempting taste of Peter Pan. Wouldn't it taste great right about now?
It's an inescapable fact that peanut butter is a high-calorie food due to the fact that peanuts are an energy-dense ingredient. But Peter Pan Creamy Original Peanut Butter supplies way more calories than you might expect. In 2 tablespoons of this peanut butter, there are 200 calories, more than a lot of other market competitors, especially natural products, which are just made from peanuts. While the difference in calories can be small, it's important to keep in mind as they can add up over time. It's also important to note that the reason why Peter Pan Creamy Original Peanut Butter is so calorific is due to its added ingredients, which aren't exactly healthy. As well as containing added sugar, this peanut butter also contains hydrogenated vegetable oil. Hydrogenated oil is added to products like peanut butter to make them last longer, and also makes it easier to spread. Unfortunately though, hydrogenated oils also raise the saturated fat content of food items, and Peter Pan Creamy Original Peanut Butter does have a noticeably higher amount than some other peanut butter products out there. Consuming too much saturated fat can have a negative impact on your cholesterol levels, so it's important to watch how much you eat. If you want the creamy taste of peanut butter, Reese's has you covered. As well as infusing countless sweet products with peanut butter, the candy company also puts out its own spread. Sadly though, Reese's Creamy Peanut Butter Spread is far from a healthy option. A highly processed product, the spread contains a host of ingredients aside from peanuts, including added sugar, salt, hydrogenated vegetable oil, peanut oil, molasses, and monoglycerides. Monoglycerides are a form of fat that is added to food to boost texture and lifespan, and while they're safe, they contain trace amounts of trans fats and add to the overall fat content of your food. These ingredients all add up to a picture of nutrition which isn't ideal. Most notably, Reese's Creamy Peanut Butter Spread contains a fairly high amount of sodium per serving, with 140 milligrams in every 2 tablespoons. Natural peanut butters made solely with peanuts, by contrast, contain no sodium at all. There are also a few grams of added sugar per serving, coming from the sugar and molasses added, and 2.5 grams of saturated fat, again more than other natural options. Reduced fat peanut butter feels like a good idea. As peanuts are high in fat, finding a way to reduce the content while still allowing you to enjoy the spread is something that appeals to a lot of people. However, Skippy Reduced Fat Creamy Peanut Butter Spread is not the way to go. This peanut butter does have lower fat levels than others, although importantly, it's only a few grams less than some types of natural peanut butter, but it's still calorie dense. Additionally, it's crammed with additives that result in a peanut butter that's lower in fat but full of carbs. Registered dietitian and nutritionist Lauren Maneker told Eat This Not That, often made with corn syrup solids, sugar, and other carby ingredients, many don't realize that 1 serving of this type of peanut butter is considered to be a full carbohydrate serving. Tack that onto the carbs taken in with your jelly and 2 slices of bread, and you can be taking in way more carbohydrates than you may realize, which could result in high blood sugar or weight gain. This peanut butter also has a high level of sodium as far as peanut-based spreads go, with 170 milligrams per serving, which further adds to its unhealthiness.
We do sell more creamy peanut butter than crunchy, but don't tell that to the crunchy fans. They absolutely love it and they would never give it up.
Peanut butter can be used in both savory and sweet dishes, but it's perhaps most commonly spread between 2 slices of bread with a slick of jelly or honey. Peter Pan's Creamy Peanut Butter and Honey Spread cuts out the additional effort of finding an extra jar by infusing honey straight into the spread itself. However, this leaves you with peanut butter that's bursting with added sugar. Peter Pan Creamy Peanut Butter and Honey Spread has 7 grams of added sugar per serving, almost a fifth of the maximum amount that men are recommended to consume daily, and over a quarter of the recommended maximum amount for women. Consuming high levels of added sugar affects your health negatively in a large number of ways, raising disease risk for multiple organs, including your kidneys, liver, pancreas, and colon, and may also raise the likelihood of obesity or high blood pressure, as stated by the American Heart Association. This added sugar amount is of course increased even further if you're adding more honey or jelly to a sandwich made with this spread, and it increases the peanut butter's calorie count with 200 per serving. As protein levels go, Peter Pan Creamy Honey Roast Peanut Butter Spread also has less than other peanut butter, delivering 7 grams per serving.
For 5 generations, with a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
Smucker's is a big name in the peanut butter world, and like many other major producers, it offers a reduced-fat version of its spread. However, this doesn't mean its reduced-fat natural-style creamy peanut butter is a healthier choice. Registered dietitian nutritionist Lisa Young warns, "You may think choosing a reduced-fat version is always better, but don't be fooled by it. This jar contains ingredients like maltodextrin, which is often used as a substitute for sugar. Maltodextrin is an ultra-processed product derived from vegetable starch and has a high glycemic index, meaning that it can cause your blood sugar to rise more than normal sugar does. This is troublesome for most people, but it is especially worrying for folks with diabetes or insulin resistance. You should pay close attention to how this peanut butter is branded. By being called natural style in some retail outlets, this peanut butter can give the illusion of minimal processing and health. But while natural peanut butter is made from just peanuts, this peanut butter contains not just maltodextrin, but salt, which raises its sodium content.
New reduced fat Jif, a delicious new choice for choosy moms.
You sure this is reduced fat?
Reduced fat doesn't always mean healthy, folks. Jif's reduced fat creamy peanut butter spread promises 25% less fat than peanut butter on the jar's label. But despite this, it's just as calorific as full-fat peanut butter options. The reason for this is because what it lacks in fat, it makes up in sugar. There are 4 grams of sugar per serving of this peanut butter, 3 of them added, and they come from not just regular sugar but corn syrup solids, the second listed item in its ingredients. Corn syrup solids are a hard form of corn syrup, an ultra-processed type of sugar that has some significant health effects. While regular corn syrup is potentially not as impactful as high-fructose corn syrup, thanks to being made of glucose and not fructose, it can still cause your blood glucose levels to rise. If this happens repeatedly over a long period, a large number of your bodily systems can be affected negatively. It's also worth noting that while this peanut butter's fat is reduced, it also has fat added back into it in the form of fully hydrogenated vegetable oils. Skippy natural peanut butter with honey seems like the best of both worlds, offering you a sweet peanut butter that eliminates the need for additional spreads while giving it to you in a natural, wholesome format. But appearances can be deceiving. This peanut butter contains a high amount of added sugars, thanks to honey and sugar being added to it, delivering 5 grams per serving, 10% of your daily value. As well as this, natural peanut butter tends to get its fat content from just the peanuts used. But Skippy natural peanut butter with honey has 2 additional fat sources, peanut oil and palm oil. This results in a spread that has a higher saturated fat content than many other peanut butters out there, with 3.5 grams per serving. Palm oil, in particular, is added to improve the spreadability of the peanut butter, but it also adds some saturated fat. It's also worth keeping in mind that palm oil is a fairly controversial ingredient due to its production's long-standing impact on the environment. While this is improving, more work needs to be done to ensure the sustainability of all palm oil sources. Peanut butter is a reliable pantry product, and Walmart offers its own version at an affordable price. But while the great value creamy peanut butter might be a terrific price, it's not terrifically healthy. This peanut butter has a range of added ingredients, including hydrogenated vegetable oils and salt. Both of these ingredients spike its sodium and fat levels, with 2 tablespoons of peanut butter providing a high 17 grams of fat and 125 milligrams of sodium. In addition, great value creamy peanut butter contains, somewhat strangely, both added sugar and molasses, the super sweet dark syrup that provides a depth of flavor. This is odd, as while you might expect these ingredients to be in peanut butter that is combined with honey or added flavors, here they add sweetness where sweetness isn't necessary and increase its added sugar content. Furthermore, there are barely any vitamins or minerals to be found in the spread. And perhaps most importantly, it has one of the highest calorie counts of any commercial peanut butter out there, with 210 calories per serving, making it an incredibly energy-dense option. Trader Joe's has own brand versions of virtually every common product, so it's not a shock that it sells its own peanut butter too. But we would be wary of assuming that it's healthy. Trader Joe's creamy salted peanut butter shows its cards in its name. This spread has a fairly high salt level, supplying 140 milligrams per portion. While this is just 6% of your daily intake, it's 6% more than a lot of other peanut butters, and small amounts can add up fast. eating too much salt has both short and long-term effects on the body. Short-term effects can include headaches and bloating. Long-term effects can include high blood pressure, kidney stones, and heart failure. It's a shame that this product contains sodium because elsewhere it looks pretty nutritious. As the only other ingredient is dry roasted peanuts, it contains no added fat or sugars or any additives to improve shelf stability or spreadability. However, you can get many of the same qualities in peanut butter that just uses peanuts with no salt. And if you feel the urge to make it saltier, you can control the amount you put in. Like several other peanut butter producers, Walmart makes a combo version of its spread, mixing its peanut butter with honey. But as you can probably imagine, doing so results in a spread that's bursting with added sugars. There are 7 grams of sugar in total in a 2-tablespoon serving of this spread, and 6 of them are added. That adds up to 12% of your daily value in a pretty small portion. And you may add to that further by smearing it onto white bread, which often has added sugar in it. These added sugars come from 3 separate sources: honey, sugar, and molasses, which come together to make a super sweet spread. Salt is also added, presumably to balance the flavor, but as a result, you also get 115 milligrams of sodium per serving. To pile things on even further, Great Value Honey Roasted Creamy Peanut and Honey Spread also has hydrogenated vegetable oil added to it, leaving you consuming 14 grams of fat in every portion. And if that wasn't enough, it's also one of the lower protein options out there, containing 7 grams per serving instead of the usual 8 grams.